Hello everyone, welcome to today's session of Durga Software Solutions. My name is Lakshmi and today we are going to discuss about question tags. Question tags. May I know what are question tags? Yes, question tags are something which comes at the end of a sentence, whether it could be a positive sentence or a negative sentence. Okay, before discussing their existence, let us understand what is the exact meaning of a question tag. What's a question tag actually? Mainly the question tags are useful for giving short responses. What? Very good. Short response to the other person whom we are talking to. So that is a question tag. Okay. Most of the time these question tags are seen in general conversations. General conversations. So, and thirdly, these are seen in the competitive examinations. Competitive examinations. So, by means of these three usages, we can understand that how important the question tags are nowadays, right? Yes. Students, to form the question tags, there are many rules. But as already we discussed that we are going to learn something in an easy manner, so we have our own techniques to learn the question tags. If you learn the technique, you can calculate any sentence. You can tag any sentence with your question. Okay. So let us see some easy process here. So we need not to learn all the rules and regulations. In fact, we can only focus on the respective rules. If you follow the rule, that's more than enough to get ready with the question tags. Okay. When you see the right side of the board, I have got empty space, right? Okay. In this space, I would like to jot an example for you. She cooks food. She cooks food. Okay, this is my sentence, a general sentence, and in this sentence I can find a subject, a verb and an object. Now the object has come. Okay, even then we have nothing to do with object. So what are we supposed to focus here? We are supposed to focus only on the subject as well as verb. Did you remember we have done many exercises with the respective tenses like construction of positive sentences, negative sentences and questions. Did you remember? Very good. So when I write this sentence, you must have understood that I have written something in simple present tense. Is it not? This is simple present tense sentence. So for all the simple present tenses, very common rule that we followed is, see, this also can be written as, this sentence also can be written as, she does cook food? Am I correct here? Yes, I am correct. How she cooks food? See, when we were dealing with some sentences like Rupa writes novels. We have done some examples with this sentence, right? So when we did some examples, I already gave you another form of sentence called Rupa does write novels. Didn't I tell you this? I told you. Why did I use does here? Because this whole sentence belongs to simple present tense, and since Rupa is a singular subject, so does takes place beside Rupa. That is the reason instead of taking V5 directly, I have adopted a word called does, which is followed by V1 verb. Yes, the same thing I did, because she is a singular subject, and whenever there is a she, always does gets activated in simple present tenses. So I have taken she does cook food. I hope you revised it, right? I hope you remembered this. This was a very big exercise that we discussed in our previous classes. And see, now the sentence is ready for us. She cooks food became she does cook food. Now what am I doing? I'm just interchanging some places here. Interchanging the places of several words. So, and for this is actually a general sentence which is in simple present tense, and for this I am giving the question tag as doesn't she? This is my question tag. Why do you think so I used doesn't she, and why is it not does she? Because this is a positive sentence. Remember, one main important rule in question tags are, for positive sentences we get the question tag in a negative form. Okay? The question tag that is exhibited here for positive sentences is a negative question tag. That means the question tag should include with not. That is the reason we have used doesn't she. Okay, and for negative sentences, the question tag should be a positive question tag. I will show you in our classes with more examples regarding those two particular points. Now, she does becomes doesn't she. This is my question tag. You just have to reverse these particular two words. Okay, then it becomes a question tag. See, she does cook food. How did we get does cook food here? She cooks food is same as she does cook food. Okay, so we got here as the question tag for this is when you reverse these two particular words, it has become does she. Now what you have to do? Adding not beside does, and now it becomes does not she. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm just writing the contraction form for this negative question. So then it becomes doesn't she, Did you get it? So what are the first 3 points that you have to remember? First, you have to interchange the words. Next point, add not between the interchanged words. Next, convert it into a negative contraction. These are the 3 points that you have to remember. Okay students, well, once again I am going to repeat this for your easy understanding. So very important, every one of you should focus on this because it's going to carry almost 3 to 4 points in your competitive examinations. Okay, so once again I am giving you the example, another example. She writes novels. She writes novels. When I wrote she writes novels, it's very clear for you that it is completely belongs to simple present tense. Okay, simple present tense. And for this simple present tense, this also can be expressed as she does write novels. This is my existed form from this given sentence. That means she writes novels is same as she does write novels. If I say he plays cricket is same as he does play cricket. See, I've got one more example. He plays cricket is same as he does play cricket. Did you remember the structure that we discussed in our previous classes? That was the subject plus, singular subject plus does plus V1 plus enlargement of the sentence or object of the sentence. This is how we got this form. That means it's very it's understood to everyone that when a singular subject is provided in the sentence, especially in simple present tenses, the helping verb that it adopts is a does. Okay, so that's how we got this sentence. Now, it's our duty to convert this into a question tag. For that, the rule is very simple. First rule, what is the first point that you have to remember? Very good. You have to interchange the places of these two particular words. Then it becomes does she. Okay. The next point, what is this point? Interchange the places of the first two words. Then she does becomes does she. And remember, this is a positive sentence. This is not a negative sentence. Okay. Because this is a positive sentence, we have to put not in between does and she. That means adding not between does and she. Then it becomes does not she. Does not she. Does not she. So it has become does not she. But in fact we are speaking something about question tags. Question tags will not have a complete form of not in them. So we have to shorten them, means we have to convert them into a contraction form. Okay. So the third point, convert into the contraction form. Convert into the contractions. Then it becomes doesn't she? Doesn't she? So this is our required question tag for she writes novels. So here the question tag for this she writes novels means it is also can be expressed as she does writes novels. So for that the question tag will be doesn't she? Doesn't she? Then you're not supposed to forget to end it with a question mark. Always a question tag should be ended with a question mark because in the name itself it is mentioned it's a question. Okay, so this is the rule. So this rule is actually for the positive sentences we get negative question tags, and for negative sentences we get positive question tags. Let's see how this is going to help us. Let's deal with the negative sentence now. So far we have dealt with positive sentence, and as we discussed earlier there are three rules for converting a given sentence, the tensed sentence into the question tag. There are three major rules. First rule, just interchange the first two words, then it becomes does she, and after that you have to check down whether the statement is given in a positive form or a negative form. So after checking the statement, what you have to do, if there is no not when you exchange, you have to add not. So that is our second point. Okay, then finally we got the tag as does not she. Even this is not sufficient for us to get the required answer. So what we supposed to do, our third point, you have to convert it into, make it into a contraction form. Okay, you just convert this does not she into a contraction form, then finally it becomes doesn't she. So this is the final answer. So students, for a positive statement you will get a negative question tag. So now let's deal with some negative sentences. Then let's understand what sort of question tag will be existed when dealing with negative sentences. I am not going to take any other new example. In fact, I am going to deal with the same example, just converting into a negative sentence. So in our previous sessions we already learned how to convert a given positive sentences of the respective tense into negative sentence. Based on that, I would like to convert this into negative sentence. And I am writing here, she does not write novels. This is my negative sentence. How can I say that this is my negative sentence? Because this part is mentioned and it is included with not. So I can say that the statement that is provided to me is a negative statement. Okay. Now for this negative statement, I have to convert this into a question tag. How can I do that? I am going to follow three rules here. One is, what are you supposed to do? Just when it is a negative sentence, means when there is not, it becomes a negative sentence. And for this negative sentence, first focus on the first two words. You forget about not, don't bring not. Okay? If it is a negative sentence, even then first please focus on the first two given words. So that is our first point. Then she goes to the second place and does occupies the first place. Okay? That's all. Very simple. Finding a question tag for a negative sentence is more easy than finding a question tag for a positive sentence. Okay students, so here we have nothing to do with not, but in the previous sentence, as not is not provided to us, we happen to insert not in 3 steps. But as of now we are finishing this formation of the answer with only single step, that is just interchange the places. Then she does not write novels becomes does she? Simple. So this is our required question tag. Does she? Okay, so this is the question tag. So for our revision, we are going to see few more examples.